AcousticHealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And in today's episode of this quantum conversation, we are further connecting with the divine within, with our divine guides. My guest today is special in that she is an angelic walk-in, and she helps raise frequency into a higher level, frequencies of love, joy, prosperity, and peace, and so much more. Angelica Rose is here today on this quantum conversation. Hello, Angelica. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, it's always so much fun to be with you. I just love your purpose. I love what you do and making a difference and supporting people like myself to share the words and wisdom. So thank you so much for this experience.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. We are excited to be here. We are going to be opening our hearts even further. And this is a topic lately that it is essential. This is where we are on our journey. And so there are many tools out there, and you've got messages and tools to assist on this process. So before we get there, you are an angelic walk-in, and you have this mission. This is your first time on Earth. Can you share a little bit about your mission and what it's like as an angelic walk-in?
That's kind of a loaded question, and it's quite a journey of first learning how to be in the human form, then learning how to clear out some of the old programs of the human form, and then being able to assist others in their own inner spirit activation. And I was really blessed when I first came in that I had these beautiful beings that took over all my attention in order to help me and assist me to not only have the instructions, because when I came here I said, where's the book of rules and regulations? I had no idea what was going on. And I thought there was a manual of some kind that you learned how to live on the planet. And it was quite a learning experience, and it was quite a journey. And I'm just feeling really blessed and so much gratitude that now I'm on purpose in what I came here to be doing in a greater way. And that's to remind others of their will being God's will, divine love's will, whichever word you use, versus the human ego's will, which when that's in control, you have a lot of challenges. But when you're connected with divine will, life becomes very magical. And so part of this talk is to remind people how to get there.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely surrendering the ego to the divine will. And that is a good question. How do we get there? How do we hear that inner voice? How do we trust it? And I'm sure you're going to bring through messages from the angelic realm as well, or even your angelic self. It's beautiful what we're going to experience today. And we'll also have questions from our audience. We've got the Q&A box open, and there's already some questions coming open and in on that. So share with us a little bit. This divine will, it is actually something that may not seem logical to the ego mind. And actually, when people center in their heart, sometimes the answer of the heart may not fit with that ego. I mean, it absolutely won't fit with the ego, but I heard someone experience how going into the heart, asking a question, and being sad because of the answer that was heard. But this is really where we need to shift that frequency, right?
I love that question. Okay, so there's a higher heart, or what I call the spirit's heart, and then there's the human heart, what I call the ego's emotions. And when people are caught up in the human ego's will and they tune into their human emotions and they ask the question, the majority of the time they're going to get answers from programs and what they feel about those programs. So some of them will bring them great joy and some of them will bring them great sadness. But when they're connected to the spirit's will and the divine, God's will, I'm just going to use the word God's will, then they're dealing with a different vibration. And so as they're asking the question, they're coming from a place of what the universe has in store rather than what the ego expects to get. And it's a totally different experience. There's still lessons, there's still evolution, yet the outcomes in the evolution become at a different vibratory frequency, and so there is more of a flow with greater levels of joy and acceptance and compassion than when it's just coming from that sense of separation. And I'm using the word sense because we're really not separated. We only feel like we are because of the programs being so strong that it actually puts us in a sleep mode.
Mm-hmm. Are we in a sleep mode right now?
Actually, what's really great is that we are waking up in groups. When Christ was on this planet, he was doing it in a solo way. We are waking up in groups, and more people are waking up. So from what I was told, there's about 4 or 5 groups. There's group 1 that's starting the process of the awakening, which will help group 2, 3, and 4 in their awakening, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. And when we get a majority of enough people that have awakened to the truth, then people on the planet will start waking up to that greater vibration of love and joy. What's happening right now, this is a preparation for next year, which is going to be quite an extraordinary year for those that are starting the awakening, and even starting in September. Right now we're in a Saturn retrograde, so if people are feeling sluggish or if things aren't flowing in the manner in which you would like it to flow, that's because of the Saturn retrograde, which is pushing things up to help you to see what's holding you back.
Okay.
And as it comes up, then you get to release it. So it's doing it at a very slow pace so that you can finally say, I get it, and let it go. And that's what the Saturn is doing. It's really kind of helping you to see things from a different perspective than if it was speeding up, which some retrogrades do very quickly, where you don't get a chance to really see it, you just process it. So that's why in many ways, those that are feeling sad or stuck is only because they're holding on. Attachments, resistance, fearing it, insecurities, negativities, limitations around it, which keeps them stuck in those denser vibrations. And that's why it feels sluggish. Make sense?
Yes, it does. And interesting how this Saturn retrograde is assisting us in that process so that as we're working to really be empowered here in the now for the coming 2020 time, then it's the last vestige of fear, for example, of moving forward on our dream or our journey. So that's important. And I know we have had reports of people really clearing out some of those last vestiges of fear and moving ahead in a very powerful way. So that's promising. I would think that the majority of the people listening to this show are in definitely the first or the second group of people that are awakening. I see that actually. We have some very high level people who are ready to be those way showers, and then we have people who are kind of still exploring what that means, but all of that is so that we can absolutely help those who will need assistance as well. Or it's like our vibration will raise, and that will assist those others into raising their vibration. It's almost like default, right?
Yeah, as people start to, it's not even raising a vibration, because you're not raising your vibration. In a sense, what's happening is your vibration is getting raised as you connect more and more and more to your truth, and less and less and less to the lies of what the human ego, based on its programs, has been caught up in. It's like an unraveling, a sifting through of many of those outdated programs that have been running in the human mind and being played out based on those that have given their power to it. And that's what I mean by being in a sleep mode, because we fall asleep in those programs, because the power of the programs tend to convince us more so than the truth behind what those programs are trying to show us. And the more we hate it, the more we resist it, the more we become insecure by it, or any of those vibrations, then we fall into that quicksand around it. It's like whatever you judge or whatever you resist, you continue to play out. But when you wake up to the realization that it's not who you are, but what you gave your power to, then you're able to regain your own power. And from that place, you're able to get it transformed, which will in itself raise your vibration. So many people are doing that from an ego's perspective, which is why it's more struggle-oriented rather than connecting to divine will, which is more flowing and more joyful and more peaceful in the process of the evolution. So one will get you there, the other will get you there. One is more playful, the other one is more work. So both will get you there, though.
Yeah. So the ego one is more work, right? And connecting to divine will is, it's a struggle.
Yeah,
it's
because
a challenge.
there's more control.
Yeah.
There's more control around it. You know, more control around trying to make something happen, or trying to get an answer, or trying to analyze it, you know. So you're dealing more with trying to figure out what's going on with the programs, whereas when you have a surrendering and you have a connection to divine will, or God or Christ, whatever word you like to use, that in itself transforms it.
Yeah.
And then you get a greater level of understanding.
And we follow the internal guidance. This is all about going within to our heart center, to the guides, for that inner knowledge that we have, for all the answers. So how do you connect to divine will? I would imagine that as we do this, absolutely we get stronger at it. But do you have a certain protocol or a tool?
Well, there's a variety of ways that we go about it. You know, obviously it's an evolution, and it's a divine timing of how the awakening process occurs. But when I work with people privately, I'm a channel to that. So I channel these beautiful beings, the angels, the pure beings, the ascended masters, and then they go in and transmute those outdated energies, those outdated programs, and then download a higher vibrational frequency. Then the humanness starts to go through a kind of like a catharsis, where it releases things that are no longer working, and it starts to wake up those dormant parts that have fallen asleep based on the programs. When you're in the process of doing it with yourself, you're going to have classes like this, talks like this. You're going to read books. You're going to do subliminal tapings. You're going to do meditations. You're going to do walks in nature. You're going to swim. You're going to work out. You're going to eat healthy. All of that is another way of waking up more and more and more. The difference is you're focusing on being more actively involved with your own awakening, and the other is having the beings help you with that awakening. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes, all right, absolutely. It absolutely makes sense.
Fine.
And so And so then listening to that internal guidance, right, and building that trust, nurturing that trust. I know that's a huge one.
Yes, yes. What happens is when the ego, a lot of people think the ego's a bad thing. It's not really a bad thing. It's like a child. You don't hate your child when it throws, well, some people do, when when a child throws tantrums or is behaving in a way that you label as not behaving. You don't hate the child, you educate the child, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the child in analogy is like the humanist is your child. And instead of you educating that through the spirit, you're letting it run your life. Like you're giving your power to a child and say, okay, child, tell me what to do. Tell me how to live my life. Tell me where to go. Tell me what answers I want to hear. And of course the child's going to tell you from where it's currently at.
Mm-hmm.
So its programs are based on its own evolution. But when you're connecting with divine will, then you're not relying on your old programs. You're relying on a lot of unknown. And that can be kind of uncomfortable because now you're not using the programs anymore. You're using like an artist or an inventor, something you've never experienced before. So you're grasping from an energy to a known rather than from a known to a known. The known to the known being the program, and the unknown to the known being something that hasn't come about yet that's going to become solidified as a new program or a new belief or a new way of seeing things. And that's the awakening process.
Yes. And those new beliefs, programming those new beliefs, how do you do that? With affirmations? I mean, we have to get the subconscious out of the way as well. Those programs are in the subconscious. And so, part of this process is positive words and affirmations and reprogramming.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the process. Again, that's the human ego doing the work, which obviously is important because that's how this process starts. But eventually there's a flip. So instead of the human ego being the dominant role, your inner spirit becomes activated and becomes the dominant role. So you don't have to think about, okay, what affirmations do I have to do? Where do I, all those questions. What happens is you wake up and you get these epiphanies, you get these inspired actions, you get these inspired ways of being based on the moment because you're being educated from the divine's will rather than having to work at getting that connection through affirmations and all that stuff. All of it is great. Again, one is more work than the other. And that's based on where the evolution is.
Great. So grounding the inspiration, I mean, we do want that inspiration. And so it's like you have to flip it. You have to get out of that mindset of the belief systems of, the old ways, going to work, working 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever, and really being in the flow. What do you do to receive? I mean, there's no set way that we receive inspiration. I find myself that when I'm in nature, I'm deeply inspired. And so that's kind of the opposite, thinking that, you need to go spend a lot of time in nature to not to look to or expect to be inspired, but just because we're out there and being in joy and looking at the beauty of nature, the inspiration comes. And that's what you're talking about.
That statement that you just said was so brilliantly put, that it's not the nature itself, but it's what the nature and your power to the nature that got you to connect. Because some people can be, let me share this story. It's really kind of funny. It's a personal story, but it'll make some sense to some people. When I was invited to this event, I had no idea what the event was. I just trusted that I was supposed to go. And I got there, and there was a whole group of people there, and two people that were like what I would call the leaders of the group. And they started talking about their emotional pain and their drama and everything from their life, their past, and they turned it into a story. And it just, there was just lots of drama. And I'm initially like, okay, I know there's a reason I'm supposed to be here. And the next thing I know, I see Christ above my head, and I laugh because I don't know what it was, but something happened that made me laugh. Then the next thing I know, I'm seeing this gold butterfly above my head. Then I hear this sound, and I don't know if they're bugs or birds, but I think they're a form of bugs that make the sound like a rain stick. Then I'm being guided to look up, and I see this beautiful tree with white buds. And all of a sudden, all of my attention is on all this magical stuff, and I just feel so happy and so at bliss. And the next thing I hear is Christ saying, okay, now I want you to get up and say that it's time for you to leave and the reason why. And so I stand up and I say, I really love and appreciate your dedication on the work that you're doing to support others in dealing with their emotional trauma. And what I've discovered in my own truth is that I don't believe in focusing on the past. I believe in choosing joy in my connection to divine love and staying in that place of loving myself to enjoy my life. And at first the gentleman got really upset because he felt like I was rejecting him. And I said, no, I'm not rejecting your process. I'm just honoring my process. And I want to thank you and bless you for this opportunity. And I feel like it's time for me to leave. And so I'm going to bow out and leave. And there were people looking at me saying, thank you so much for taking care of yourself and for speaking your truth and for honoring yourself. And then I left. Now, it wasn't about the group. What I'm pointing out is in the midst of what can seem like chaos, my attention wasn't on that. It was on the beauty, sitting in the midst of chaos. And I was able to connect. So some people can go to like a busy airport where people are stressed out, close their eyes and feel that connection to divine source. Some people go to nature because it's more instant. I'm like you, I love going into nature. So it just depends on how strong your connection becomes in certain situations that will help you to stay in that connection.
Yes, stay in that connection no matter what. I know many are building new earth businesses, right? Creating new things from this perspective, from the divine will. And wow, I mean, it's really interesting not to force anything. So let's talk a little bit more because we were talking about, we got to make that flip and surrender to divine will. And we have a couple of people coming in on our question Q&A. How do you actually make that flip? Right? I mean, I know we've talked about it, but let's try to answer that a little bit more. Maybe some examples where we really do have to get out of the head. Do you have a certain way to identify when you're caught up in your head? This question right here is someone who's caught up in the head, right? Because we're trying to figure it out.
Right, and again, that's the human chatter. Yes. So it's not about trying to shut the human chatter off, because again, resistance or forcing only creates more chatter. It's like telling the child to stop crying, the child will continue to cry. And then you become really frustrated by it. So what do you do when a child starts to get really frustrated and cry? You hold the child in love, correct? So it's the same thing with those thoughts. You hold the thoughts in love and then you let them go. Let's do a meditation. Let's do a 10-minute meditation or a 5-minute meditation.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So let's take some deep breaths. And I want you to put a hand on your heart and one on your stomach. And it's probably to your advantage to sit up versus laying down for this meditation. And what I want you to do is I want you to take a deep breath And I want you to do it very slowly so you don't get too lightheaded. I want you to take a deep breath, hold it, and then take another deep breath, and then let it out through your mouth. But remember, I want you to do this very slowly, because if you're not breathing properly, you're going to get lightheaded. So you want to breathe in, hold it, take another breath, and then slowly let it out of your mouth. And I want you to do that 3 times. And as you're doing that, I want you to notice how your breath is going down towards the stomach and even beyond, and how you're noticing your body relaxing a little bit. And after the 3rd time, and if you feel you want to do it a couple more times, by all means do. And then after that, I want you to breathe normal in through your nose, deep breathing out through your nose. And you're going to notice that your breath is deeper. You're also going to notice you're going to feel a little bit more relaxed or a lot more relaxed, depending upon how unrelaxed you are. And then when you're done, I want you to drop your hands into your lap, and I want you to close your eyes. And for a moment, I just want you to be an observer. You're going to observe the thoughts as if they're not your thoughts, but rather the thoughts. They're just thoughts. You're just going to observe them, no opinions, no labels, just observe them. Now what I want you to do is I want you to put those thoughts on these beautiful imaginary clouds of any shape and color and just watch them float away. Anytime a thought comes up, just say thank you, and then put them on the cloud and watch them float away. And now I want you to drop your eyes down into your heart. And I want you to imagine that your heart is expanding bigger than your body, bigger than the room, bigger than the planet, where you're connected to this beautiful energy of unconditional pure love. It's like you're plugging yourself in to that vibration of pure love. You're just like a socket, plugging it in. That's all you're doing, and that is an open receptivity to feeling that vibration. And as that's occurring, I want you to imagine from your feet up to your hips, everything like a mini massage relaxing, little pressure points just working its way up, slowly massaging the feet. You can use the color green, which has to do with a healing color. The thought pops up, put it on the cloud, and then say thank you and go into this place again, feeling it moving up towards the ankles. Little beautiful relaxed massage as it works its way up towards the calves and the knees. Taking another deep breath. The thighs. The lower back, the pelvic area, and the lower stomach area. And before you go up further, I want you to just send from your hips down to your feet love, the energy of love. Just bless it with as much love as you feel you can. Now focusing on your hips working its way up towards the stomach and the middle part of the back with, again, this beautiful green light or the pressure points. Little mini massage towards the heart, which is already connected to divine love. Shoulders dropping, collarbone, upper part of the back, a letting go. You can almost feel the shoulders just moving them and dropping down. Down the arms, the elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Taking another deep, deep, deep breath. And focusing on the neck and the whole entire head area, front and back, left and right, top and bottom. The third eye in between the eyebrows, expanding beyond your eyes, all the way around to the back of your head. And then from the top of the head down to your feet, down to your fingers, bringing this beautiful energy of love. And after you've done that, focus on the heart and the connection to that cord connected to the universe. And I'm going to be silent for about 2 minutes while you're doing that. Now taking a deep breath, feeling your feet where they're touching. Noticing inside where your hands are resting. You're feeling it from inside. Your eyes still closed. Feeling that beautiful connection to divine love. And shooting that up to the mind and down into the body and up into the body. Noticing your breath going in and out. Slowly, slowly coming into the room, fully aware of the presence with your eyes closed and fully aware of what you're feeling inside with your connection. And when you're ready, you can slowly come into the room, opening your eyes and giving yourself a big hug.
Yes, a big hug of self-love. That is extremely relaxing, and that feels so divine right there. What a beautiful, beautiful process.
Oh, thank you. That's just a sampling of a meditation. The online series, when we talk about it later, includes all these meditations. It's like a process of awakening.
The process of awakening. Right, and it's energetics in our body. And so we're feeling that. I encourage everyone to just hold this and continue to feel it and experience it. It is exquisite. Thank you.
Oh,
wow.
My pleasure.
Yes, okay. Well, we would love to bring in some questions from our audience. This would be a good time, and maybe if you've got some messages for them. We have a lot of people who really are rebirthing themselves into the world and stepping up. So let's take some questions. Okay, I'm going to go to the phone line. I'm going to Woodbury, New Jersey, and it looks like we're connected with Maureen. Hello, you're unmuted.
Hi, Loren. Hi, Angelica. How are you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Hello, hello.
Hello. Aloha. I am blissed out from that beautiful meditation. I actually was driving and I rushed to get to the beach because that's where I usually do a lot of my connections. And so I had that experience within the beautiful nature. And so thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So can I ask a question, Angelica?
Of course.
Okay. Is there a message for me right now for my divine path that I am on right now? I'm on the enlightenment path, and I feel like I've transformed so much in the last year, my whole life actually, but even more so in the heart. So I feel like my heart is very open and expansive, and I feel much more complete to bring in a soulful relationship. So I was wondering what my guides and your guides have to say about that.
Oh, what's your month and day of your birthday?
It's 11/27.
Okay. So you're moving into a completion year on your birthday. And the one thing that they keep telling me to tell you, I just wanted to see you in an 8-year. You said 11/22, right?
11/27.
11/20. Oh, 11/27. Yeah, so for some reason that didn't make sense, 11/22. So that's better. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that makes more sense. That totally makes more sense. So you're moving into the year 5, which is the year of change. And then the following year you move into the year of 6, which has to do with love and relationships. So the one thing that Michael keeps popping in and out, telling me to tell you is you don't bring your soulmate in. Your soulmate gets brought in by the divine timing of the universe. So you have to let go of that bringing in mentality, because that's a control mechanism. And instead be grateful that it's already there. It's just being introduced to you. Because when you look at bringing it in, you're looking at it from a place of missing something very subtle, yet it is still there, of wanting something rather than being filled up to share it with someone. And the gratitude and the knowing that it's already done is the allowing, rather than feeling you have to get somewhere in order to get it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, totally.
Yeah.
That brings a higher understanding and a higher trust that it's already complete. It's already in the process of arriving.
Yeah, and then you can just forget about that whole thing about, where is he, what time frame is it going to come in, all of that stuff. Because what that person is going to give you, you already have with the universe. But if you look to have it with this person, then again, you're looking to get something from him. Or I'm assuming it's the guy you want. So that is important to understand that. And we all want to experience love and, with another person, whether it's a partner or friends or relationships. I mean, it's a nice thing to continue to share. The thing I just keep hearing is you don't look outside to get something. You bring your inside to share the Christ, the godliness, the divine love, period. Yeah. And as you're sharing, then the universe brings more people that either are looking for it or that already have it.
Yeah, absolutely true.
And then that's where divine order comes in.
Yeah.
But when you look outside to get something, then that's when your vibration starts to get caught up in the control and it becomes a little discombobulated.
Mm-hmm. Well, my main focus my whole life has been my connection to the divine and being of loving service. So I've been on that path for a very long time and have transformed so many times. And I know that I have a lot of love in my life, in my relationships, in what I do, and family, that is my soul family. So I've been focused on that, and it's bringing me to a place of great fulfillment and great joy. So I hold that inside that radiates out. So I really appreciate you saying that. So thank you so much for my message.
Oh, you're so welcome. And just know that these times and days are continually evolving and expanding, and we're moving into something quite extraordinary starting in September. It's probably for some people, they may not notice it until after the 18th with the Saturn retrograde. But it's quite an extraordinary time, and for some of us, we're already recognizing it because, like I mentioned earlier, there's like a first group, second group, third group, so forth group. And it isn't based on ego, like, oh, I'm better, I'm in my first group, and you're in the fourth group, nah. Has nothing to do with one being better than the other. It has more to do with planetary aspects, the lessons you came here to learn, all those kinds of little things. And so even in the first group, some people have been in that group even before others and are reminders. And so they started it this year, or they may have started it last year. It's an evolution of being in the group versus the timing of being in the group. And that's based on the universe feeling divine order and divine timing and preparation. So it doesn't mean that something's wrong with you if you're not there, or if you're not feeling it fully yet. There's a lot of things that take into consideration in order to get there. And I'm only bringing up the 4 or 5 groups just because sometimes people feel like they've gone through so much stuff and it feels like it was coming at them so fast and they didn't understand why. And that's the reason, because they want to try to get as many in the first group as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what they feel is divine order and divine timing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's the way I understand it. And I'm seeing more and more people getting that, and that's what makes it really beautiful.
Yeah.
So the focus always is an inward focus, not a getting from the outward focus.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you so much for my beautiful message. I appreciate that. Thank you, Loren. Thank you, Angelica.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you, Maureen.
Blessings.
Blessings. All right. Yes, the inner journey and this guidance that we have within ourselves is key. And so as you bring forth these messages, when they resonate, it's actually helping each individual feel the message of their own heart. And that's beautiful to witness. So let's witness another one. I'm going to go to Kimberly on the web call. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi, Kim. Oh, good.
Yes.
Yes. I heard you said Michael was here. He's helped me in the past. He's saved my life. And it's crunch time, and I need a little bit of assistance in a message, please. I know what my mission is.
Oh, your mission. I thought you said your message. I couldn't understand. You're a little garbled. Yeah.
I know what my mission is. I know what it is. I just need a little bit of help in connecting.
In connecting to your mission, or connecting to divine love?
I have it. I'm dealing with more connecting to my higher self, because I have a lot of.
Were you here when we were doing the meditation?
Yes.
And what came about for you in the meditation? Did you feel a connection? Did you feel what was going on for you in that experience?
It was perfectly peaceful. Peaceful.
Okay. And did you feel somewhat of a connection to divine?
No, I need a little bit of a message.
Oh, okay. I think I'm understanding your question, but let's see what the angels say. What is your month and day of your birthday?
June 10th.
Okay.
I'm an 8.
Oh, well, June 10th, you said?
Mhm.
Yeah, you're in a 1 year, which has to do with your soul's purpose, which makes total sense on why you're wanting to know more about where you're going. So for this year, your whole soul is actually doing it. You don't have to worry about how do I get there or what steps do I have to take. That's an ego, and this is what I'm hearing to tell you. That's your ego trying to get something. All you have to do is relax into the connection rather than trying to get a connection. And when you let go, because you still have some control around it, there's still some, I can see it, I can hear it, Michael. You still have some control around trying to get it to happen instead of allowing the flow of what's going on and the preparation of the evolution of your soul being more active. So the word that I just keep hearing is breathing into the relaxation of the allowing the connection. And that'll make it easier.
Meditation?
Meditation helps, being around nature, listening to high vibrational music, lighting a candle and just watching that candle. Walking very slow and watching your steps as you're walking and just being present with the walking. Keep bringing yourself back into the present moment. Watching water dribble if you take a bath. Those are some examples that I'm hearing to tell you. You have a lot of stimulus around you, and you have to balance that stimulus. Balance it out a little bit more.
Do I need any more healing with the relationship?
I'm going to challenge that word. I don't believe we heal relationships. We expand in the relationships. Healing, again, has to do about something, giving your power to something outside of you.
Okay.
If the relationship is providing an expansion, it feels karmic, meaning there's lots of lessons you're learning from this relationship with regard to what they just told me to tell you, and that's your boundaries and knowing how to stand strong in your power. And this particular relationship is pushing you to see that power you have inside of you. But you're looking at it from a sensitive place. Yeah.
I know what it is.
Right.
So I don't need to do any more healing with it?
Again, it's not about healing, because healing has to do more with thinking something's wrong with you.
So I don't hate myself anymore?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
So I don't hate my high self anymore?
Hate? Did you say the word hate?
Hate.
You don't hate anything. The minute you hate it, you're in a vibration. So I think we have about 5 more minutes. Did you want to, I want to make sure I cover as many questions as we can before we do the special. Is that okay?
Could you just ask Michael, is that it? Does he know who he's talking to?
I kind of feel like I've answered a lot of questions, and I really want to get to other callers just to be fair with other people. Would that be okay?
So you won't answer that. Okay. Thank you.
And so, Kimberly, I would encourage you to go into your heart too and connect, because I think you have that answer, right? I hope so. What do you, when you feel into your heart, what do you hear? What do you see, sense?
Yeah, I think the thing is like there's just so much power and control around that, and that's one of the reasons why Michael wanted me to stop, is you're falling into a quicksand around giving your power to your human ego, and it wasn't serving to continue with these questions. It wasn't serving you. It wasn't that I didn't love to help. It was just not serving your divine being. And when I'm guided to say stop, I don't question, I trust. So please know that that was coming from a loving place to assist you rather than to push you away.
I'm still floundering. Thank you.
You're very loved. You just got to learn to love you a little bit more. Don't be so hard on yourself, love. You're just a phenomenal, wonderful, loving being, and you're moving into your soul's purpose, and you are, and you because it was on your birthday, you started moving into it. You just got to relax more into that. And there is a lot of stimulus around you, so you have to start to set some boundaries. You have too much heavy stimulus around you. And that's the last thing I just want to say before we go on to, I think we have time for a couple more callers. Did you want me to do any more callers?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Kimberly. Well, good luck, girl. You've got this, and steady as she goes.
Totally got it.
One foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
All right. Be gentle with yourself.
Did you want to talk about the special, or did you want to wait on that because of?
Yeah, let's do this now. I want to share a little bit about what you've got. You've got this beautiful course, an online series that allows people to really move into this divine connection, especially during these times, and that's very powerful. And what we love is there's an angel message session one-on-one with you, and we have that on our special offer page. So share with us, how do people use this program?
Okay, so there's a special offer one, and that's the connecting with the divine, and it's your spiritual journey to connecting to divine love. It's this connection, this stronger connection, which is what I'm hearing everybody's looking for. So there's a 4-part series, comes in MP3 and in MP4, so you get to see it and or feel it, depending upon how you process it. Decided to do both. It's a process. You go from your spiritual journey with a meditation, then you get to series 2, which is teaching you, showing you how to let go of the ego control mechanism with a meditation. And so it keeps building. The series 3 shifts your energy to a more enlightened place with a meditation. And then the series 4 helps to activate the inner spirit by unraveling some of the belief systems that helps you with the meditation. The meditations were all channeled, and you experience the sampling. The meditations are longer than what we did. And so you start to experience these higher conscious ways of living and opening more to your heart by silencing the mind and learning how to increase your inner awareness and letting go of the ego control. And so that one is a process to help you to start the process of connecting to divine love. And it's $97 for that series. And then the special offer, too, includes that, plus my book, Transformation, which is my angelic walk-in, and a 10-minute angel messenger session where I tune into the angels and I share messages directly from them. And that one is, I've got to fix the price a little bit, but anyway, I'll send that. We'll talk about that, but that part we'll fix. Now, if we have 5 people, the first 5 people that do register right before midnight tonight will get a special bonus, which is a free PDF activating the inner spirit to your true freedom. And so that would be part of the package for the first 5 that register for either the first or the second series, and they do it before midnight tonight.
Okay.
And this is a journey. It's a beautiful journey. A beautiful journey.
The inner realms, this journey inward, trusting it's actually soul embodiment. It's connecting to the divine within us and allowing it to flow more and more in our lives. And so these are beautiful, very helpful tools to assist in that journey. I thank you for that. And we invite our listeners to check it out. There is a webpage here. There's a link on this platform, on this webpage, to the special offer. And of course, you can visit acoustichealth.com/special offers/Angelica. And you will see that beautiful package offering. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. Let's go and do another caller here. This time I'm going to go over to Honolulu, and this is, it looks like phone number ending in 6554. Hello, you're unmuted.
Aloha. Thank you for the connection.
Aloha, what's your name?
Persia. I'm calling from Honolulu.
Oh, hi, Persia.
Hi, Lauren. Hi, Angelica.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. I've been waiting for this call. Like, I literally felt the calling to have to pull over my car. And right now I'm just sitting in a shopping center waiting for this call and meditating. So I appreciate the connection.
Yeah, awesome.
I feel that I would like to be open and receptive to what I need to see and hear. I feel that I've been observing a lot of my life to be kind of in this energy of pull and push. And since I was 2-3 years old, I literally remember my dad telling me, focus, you're here for more than what you think you are. And these things kind of brought me to a different point in my life. And 7 years ago, I won a green card lottery. I moved to the United States and I went through massive shifts and awakening. I just feel that I'm 33 right now and I need to focus on what I'm here for. So I appreciate if there is any message, anything that I need to see and hear, not what I want to hear, but what I need to hear. If Angelica can please.
I definitely want to get a confirmation of what I've been hearing already. What is your month and day of your birthday?
August 2nd, 1986.
Oh, just your month and day. Did you say 8/2, August 2nd?
8/2, yes. August 2nd.
Okay, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of, and this is what I was hearing while you were talking. Sometimes I can hear both your words and their words, and it's all energies from them and verbal words from you, and it's kind of fun. So Raphael and Michael have been really working with your energy field. I would probably say, if I'm above your timeline, probably in the last maybe 2 or 3 months. Has it felt really intense the last 2 or 3 months, more so than any other month?
Yes, it's been very intense. I'm aware of Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, and Archangel Metrodon. Like literally, I get invited to some personal retreats that people show up and like for a couple of days, I feel like I'm like sitting in a room, and now I'm allowing it more than ever. But I still observe myself that there are like so many different things that I feel like pull and push, and then sometimes it's just so exhausting. So I just want to
so let me interject so I can make sure I finish with I just wanted to get confirmation on what was going on in the last 3 months. So what they're doing is it's like they're roughing out a diamond. They're roughing out all the parts of you that need to be let go of, and they're doing it in a very quick and fast way so that your energy can get balanced out really quickly. because you are part of that first group, and they need for you to let go of the attachments to the stories and the egos and all that kind of stuff that's dropping your vibration. So your energy's split right now. One foot is in one door and the other foot's in the spirit realm. And what they're doing is they're trying to bring your vibration more aligned to the spirit's realm so that you don't feel that split energy. And that's why it feels somewhat intense, because what they're doing is like a snake. They're shedding those areas that aren't working for you. What would help you is to breathe more deeply, meditate more, and just be around a lot of nurturing environments during this probably next month or two, a little bit more than that, so that it becomes a little bit less intense while this is happening. It eventually starts to become easier because your body's going to acclimate and it's going to adapt a little bit more, and it won't feel so like a roller coaster syndrome. It'll start to balance out. But you have to let go of some of the attachments to trying to understand or figure out. Just let go of all of that and just keep meditating. Keep your mind in gaps of silence and keep flowing like you're flowing in this vibration of love. Just keep imagining you're flowing in this vibration of love. Metatron has been coming a lot lately to me, which I'm kind of excited about, because he brings in this vibration that's very strong, and when he comes in, he just literally dives in, pushes things out, and it's done. And so the fact that you're dealing with so many energies, this is actually serving you. And so the best thing you could do is just flow. Allow yourself to flow, and that'll help you master the comfort level of what you're going through with greater ease and peace and so forth. So hopefully that helps.
Thank you so much. I the moment you started talking, I started like crying. It's just very intense.
Aww.
I feel all the energies that are working with me, and I'm so grateful. But sometimes I just feel like I don't know, there's just this, like, all of a sudden I feel like I'm very much in the flow, and then the doubt, like, just gets so present, and I'm willing to doubt my doubt instead of, like, staying with that. I just feel like I lose my mind, and I've been observing how I get into this, like, up and down. I just feel that I want to give away all the doubts and worries right now and just stay with this vibration and not to
let me interject again.
Going back and forth.
Yeah, that's the split energy that they were talking about. So the wanting, you're resisting it, and the more you resist it, the more you're going to get stuck in it. So just hold it with love. Be very present with it. Don't try to get rid of it. Just be present with it, and in a matter of minutes, it'll just dissipate. Just be present with it. That's part of your solidification. Yes? Makes sense?
I don't want to resist. I just don't know. I feel like some part of me is afraid of, like, kind of keep resisting, and I feel like I'm, like, keep creating the same thing, because I don't want to, but then I observe myself like resisting so much, and I just want to get out of. I know that I'm capable to raise from the stories and just kind of like be in the flow, but a part of me is like, I don't know even what to really say right now. I just feel like I'm really overwhelmed, but I'm very ready to just raise above all these stories and even victimhood and overwhelming and all these things. I just
okay. So let me stop you because you're doing. Let me stop you because you're doing what the other lady's doing. You're giving your power to things that aren't serving you, and when you give your power to it, it overwhelms you. So instead of talking about the story, which is only going to repeat it like Groundhog Day, breathe into it and love it, and then just focus in on divine love. Don't even talk about the stories. Don't even talk about the pain. Just feel it. Hold it with love. And then start focusing on things that bring you joy. Divine love, the birds, breathing. Just keep the mind in the silence by loving it and focusing on letting the thoughts float away. And do as much meditating as you possibly can. And when you get caught up in the story, breathe into it and just love yourself in the midst of it. Because that's going to help you to move your consciousness off the programs that's putting you in this overwhelming split to that of surrendering.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I surrender to that. I have one more question.
I'm going to stop you at this point just so you don't continue with the story. Because again, every time Michael tells me, that stop, that's going to help you to stop. And then I want you to just sit and just close your eyes and just keep breathing and do that exercise that we did with letting your thoughts go on these imaginary clouds and feeling your heart connecting to divine love. Just do that for 5 or 10 minutes while we continue on. I think we're doing one more call. I don't remember what you said, Laura.
Okay, thank you, Persia. Yes, just hang in that vibration. Hang in it, hold in. And, when, like we heard, if you move out of it, just come out of the head and come back into the heart. We hope that was helpful, Persia. Thank you so much for calling. Okay. Well, we do have time. Let's do one more call. This time we're going to phone number ending in 2362. Hello. Okay, that was music playing.
That was nice.
All right, we're going to finish our call, and it's Maria on the line. Hello, Maria. Okay. This is our last caller. This one, it looks like Melissa in Michigan. Melissa, you are unmuted. Hello.
Hi. Oh, thank you, Lauren. This is a wonderful call. There were a couple of times when you were talking, when Angelica was talking, and I thought you were talking to me, and I was like, right off into just floated into just this beautiful. It was very nice. I thank you. Well, I'm going to be quick. What I would like is, my birthday is 2/9, month 2, day 9. If I could just have a quick message about, oh boy, all of a sudden all this flooded in. I think what I want to ask is, because I think the only thing that is left with me, and I shouldn't say only because it's a tremendous obstacle, it's self-criticism. And I don't want to go there anymore. And I understand, those thoughts aren't part of my soul and they're not coming from that divine place. And yet they just come, and I'm getting a little better, but what would happen is I know I would just feed them myself, and then it would just be this little hamster wheel of, criticism and finding fault and that sort of thing. I just don't want to do that anymore. I can't do this anymore, and I just want to be, I love this call because it just gives me permission to just, like, I'm just looking up into the treetops now. It's just this, and listening to the birds, and that's what brings me joy, and I want to do that, and I know that I have another purpose to be a guide or a catalyst or some form of service or helper, but I'm stuck. I don't want to say stuck, but that criticism is there, and I just want to move through it somehow. I've tried loving it. I've tried so many different ways.
So let me stop you. I want you to close your eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, love. It's really funny. I laugh because when we're in our stories, it's so easy for us women to babble.
It is. It's
And
just,
it's
I
really
know.
kind of comical how the babbling becomes a movie after a while. So it's really funny. So I want you to I know I'm laughing because I'm probably do that. It's just really funny. Anyway, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to put your arms around yourself. You're in the year of change. So this is a great time for you. You're moving into the year of divine love on your next birthday. So it's really close. So you're that halfway cycle. And I just want you to feel your arms around yourself. And I want you to feel what it feels like to just bring love inside the mind, inside your heart, inside your body. Just feel that vibration of love. So anytime and just keep breathing. I'm going to keep talking while you're doing that. Anytime a criticism or any feeling of self-judgment comes up, just say thank you for reminding me of what I don't want anymore. And then close your eyes and then hug yourself and just say, I love you. I love me so much. I love that I love the birds. I love that I love the way I take care of myself and that I'm choosing to be happier. I love that I'm not letting this criticism to get in my way. I'm loving that I'm choosing to be gentle with myself. I'm loving that. And just keep focusing on what you love about yourself. I'm even if it's using the word, I'm willing to love me even more, and this is my choice. And if a thought comes up, oh yeah, right, go, thank you for popping up and reminding me of an old program. Delete, and thank you. And I'm choosing to now replace that old program with a program that says how great I am because I know I'm lovable. I know I'm worthy of love. I know that God loves me. I know that the angels love me. I know that I'm here on this planet to make a difference. And I know that God doesn't make junk, and I'm not junk. I'm love. I'm beauty. And you just keep saying that. Are you feeling these words? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. And are you feeling more love inside? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. So your play work from now until the rest of your life, from the minute you get up till the time that you go to sleep, is to just give yourself permission until it becomes so unconscious that you don't even have to do it anymore, to just hold yourself in love. When you get up in the morning, do that for 2 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever minutes. And when you go to sleep, do it. So that you go to sleep feeling that and you wake up feeling it. And eventually you won't even have those other things to think about because you're not giving your power on stopping the criticism. You're giving your power on loving you.
I am love.
Yeah.
You are. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
See how simple that was? It was probably 2 minutes. And you're already laughing.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to tell you that almost from the very beginning of that practice, I mean, your voice, and I just want to acknowledge you because you definitely held a space for me that made it okay to do that for myself and to acknowledge myself and to actually love myself. And I want you to know that while I was holding myself like that, I had a big smile on my face the whole time.
Of course,
well,
yes.
That's because you're so amazing. You know, it's really interesting how, and I'm stereotyping for a minute, because men are going there too, but many of us women, we have, given our power away in so many ways, and now we're gaining our power in so many ways, because the feminine energy is really important to have that on this planet right now. And so the more we love ourselves, and I just heard this message, Michael, thank you, the more we help those on the planet. So our role is just be it. We don't have to go out and do anything. We just got to be it. Just be love, be joy, be peace, be prosperity, be health, be vitality, just continue to be that. We don't have to feel like we have to go save the world. We just got to be, and the world was so called. And actually the planet's ascending so quickly. It was waiting for many humans, but now it can't anymore. And so it's ascending. And things are just like literally being washed away that no longer is serving. It's like the vibrations keep expanding and it's going to go faster and faster and faster. And many of us are flowing in that vibration because it's very nurturing. And for those like myself that are working more on the ethereal plane versus shamans that work more on the ethereal plane, I truly believe that when we connect from the ethereal plane and we bring that to the physical plane, it's more enjoyable than if we try to ground into the physical plane with all this stuff going on. So that's my belief. That's my thing.
I just want to say thank you to you because everything that you've been saying is, my soul is beaming because it's like, and you also explained something to me which has brought tears of recognition and joy really to my eyes, is that I've been feeling this, this tremendous, what do I want to say? Okay. So like I've been a healer and I've done all these things and it's like, but I kept thinking, okay, now I have to do more and I got to do this and I have to do it this way and and all these workshop ideas, all these things are coming to my head, right? But then there's this other part of me that is just like, I don't think I need it anymore is how it started. And then, because I thought, well, all these other people now are doing, I don't need to do this anymore. But then where it went from there was to what you were just talking about, this feeling of all I want, it's like when I was talking about the trees and the birds, it's almost like I don't want to have to do anything more. I just want to sit and, I mean, I don't necessarily have to sit, but I just want to anchor and be and allow and just let that love and all of that just radiate out, and that feels like that's where I can be and that's okay. And it just, when you set, this.
But also remember that the universe, if you stay very present, let go of the past because the past is no longer here, the wisdom from the past is here. Let go of the future because there is no future, there's only a today. Tomorrow becomes today. And in the moment, in today, you may be asked to take your beingness and go do something. Touch a person's life. Say a message, like I'm doing. But I don't go out to do that. I listen and it becomes that at the moment. So if you learn to be present in the moment and just be in that moment to moment to moment to moment, you'll know what to do in that moment versus an hour from now or 2 hours from now or 3 hours from now.
I just love it. I love what you're saying.
What you're learning is just be present. First, you have to be, before you can put on someone else's mask, you have to put your own mask on. You have to put your own power, like the airplane. You have to bring your own power first before you can go out and be powerful for others. So be that joy and that love. You notice how your vibration went up in 2 minutes.
Yep.
Imagine if you did that throughout the day.
Right. That's beautiful. And I just, I've been doing more of that lately, just doing that. And but if there was something about, I don't know, it's like you just gave me permission that yes, it's okay. And it's like what I'm feeling.
It is okay.
Expand on it, you know.
And now you give yourself that permission instead of getting it from someone else. Now you give it to yourself, that permission.
Yes.
I feel like I am right now. Thank you. I'm so grateful for this beautiful.
You're so welcome, love. Yeah, I mean, it's quite extraordinary how quick your vibration shifted. It was in 2 minutes. I mean, you went from, I mean, you felt it, right? I mean, it was quite a shift. Quite a shift.
Beautiful.
So, okay, so just real quick, because I wasn't able to say this, so please let me just throw this in. If it's okay, Lauren, just to say this real quick.
Yes.
So the special offer, I just want to say it again because now it's been updated. I just want to stay with the integrity. So the spiritual journey to divine love, that part is there. And it's a package that's 43 minutes, 42 minutes, 44 minutes, 46 minutes. It's really going to help to open up your spiritual path. And there's a lot of people here, just from these callers, that I think would just love this package. So that's the package 1, that's 97. And then package 2 has that with my book Transformation, which talks about my spiritual journey as an angel walk-in and channeled messages. Some people said it was like their Bible. It changed their life forever. And then there's a 10-minute angel messenger session that I tune into the angels and I pass it on to you, and combine that's $165.95. So you're getting a lot, all the whole package, everything, 1 and 2. And then for the first 5 people that jump on the wagon with this package, you'll get a PDF of activating your inner spirit, the true freedom of how to activate and what that feels like. Well, you don't activate it, it becomes activated, but what that's all about and so forth. So I just wanted to make sure that I touched on that because I wanted it to first be shown up before, people get onto the website and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And thank you too, Melissa. Thanks so much. And stay in that love vibration. And I want to thank all of the people who asked their questions, because to hear that process and to hear the solution, to hear the shifting in vibration is testimony to the journey and what we are all here to do. And it really is simple. Maybe not so easy, but we are simply opening to love and we are embodying the soul. So we invite you to use these tools and assist yourself on that journey. Wow, Angelica Rose, thank you so much for this beautiful, beautiful session today. We are feeling embraced in divine connection and love.
Oh, thank you. And I love the words that you use and the simplicity. It is simple, but it's not always easy. And just so tuned into the words. It's just beautifully put. And this has been an absolute joy and deeply in gratitude for being part of this journey and to share these beautiful messages and to touch lives and to remember how loved you are. Remember that you are love, and the stories and all those programs is not who you are, it's who you bought into. So just love them, but let them go.
Yes,
create
and I'm going
to love more.
Beautiful. Love them and let them go. We are dissolving those programs with the love. I just had to repeat that, Angelica, because it's so beautiful. So thank you for this quantum conversation. Hearts are open, and I thank everyone for keeping your hearts open. This is our role in the face of everything. So please remember that, and happy journeying. So now, if you would like to check out Angelica Rose's special offer, please do so at acoustichealth.com/special offers/Angelica. It is time now to dance our way with hearts wide open to the cosmic heart. Enjoy. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.